All right. Well, welcome everybody to the Yonitry 2 book release and poetry reading, virtual poetry read, because we all over, y'all. We are all over. You hear me? So I am Andrea Kitten, for those of y'all who do not know me. And then we have so many beautiful goddesses who have contributed to this work. And we're just going to share our pieces, share kind of like the meaning behind our poetry and also the meaning behind the book, why we wanted to put this work out there and all of that. If you are just coming in, make sure that you're muted, unless you're one of the speakers that's being highlighted tonight, that is sharing from the book. So without further ado, I will start off by reading one of my poems, and then we can kind of like talk about the backstory behind that, and we'll move on to the next poet. Okay, so the piece that I want to share from Yonitry 2 is called Love Me Like Luther. And just a little intro for it. I really, really love Luther Vandross' music. Like, his songs are just amazing. I feel like he has the most authentic and amazing love songs, right? Like I just, when I get my partner, like I literally want him to love me like Luther talks about in his songs, right? So this poem could be a song, is called Love Me Like Luther, a self-love journey. Meeting you has been the single most blessing of my life. You made me dive in. And ever since I've been exploring your depths, I've been enlivened. You have nourished a love atmosphere in which I can thrive in. You 4+6 like Biden. I'm stripped bare, no more hiding. Got me in the mirror dancing naked and confiding. Touching me as it glides in. Connecting to my sacral plexus, I am enlightened. As we vibe in, you encounter the most intimate spaces of my existence. I've gone 34 years ignorant to true love, no more resisting. Somehow deep inside, I know we've met before this life and you were persistent. Finally, I opened my heart and listened. I love you, not because you're beautiful, intelligent, and a go-getter, but because I feel I've traveled this whole universe and couldn't find anyone better to spend my life with. Our connection is astral. We are one with the stars on a spiritual plane that's pastoral. You so masterful. A work of art better than the Sistine Madonna, the Mona Lisa, and a Van Gogh piece. You make me feel wealthy, richer than Aliko, Dangote. With peaceful opulence, you reasonable optimist. You are the decision. It'd be treason to option this. This love ain't seasonal. This is a forever type love, a both zen and hype love, a grown and ripe love. Knowing you and watching you grow gives me a different type of glow. One I would have never imagined I'd know, or even realize was possible. On a hot day, you're my popsicle. On a hard day, you're the solution to my obstacle. My little piece of heaven, my sweet ounce of joy, my love, my heart, future parent to my girl and my boy. Don't you know that? Really, really, don't you know that? I love you. Don't you know that? Really, really, don't you know that? I love you. I love you. I love you. And it's never too much. And you don't really have to do much. I feel even more connected with every time we do touch. When you hug me, it's evidence of how you love me. When you blow me kisses and affirm me and take the time to learn me, there's no regrets, no need to reset. You deserve me because you earned me. The best of me, the healed me. Because of your vulnerability, I was able to reveal me. the patient me, the peaceful and still me. Got me soft and feminine like a lily. And we here now. No more stressing from adolescence, no more fear now. You've allowed me to see the greatest side of you. Now I'm taking a lot of pride in you, trusting you and confiding you. Because now I feel the safest I've ever been, knowing that I'm making good decisions because my discernment and intuition. This is why moving forward, all we gonna do is win. I admit it took work to break down these walls, but who better to do it? This healing journey with you took me from destitute to affluent, from poverty to opulence. You bring me down to earth like countryside versus metropolis. So tranquil and calm, a beautiful psalm, so delightful, a suitable song. As we do our feminine dance in the mirror, I'm filled with gratitude, knowing that I'm a goddess who creates her own reality with a shifted paradigm and attitude. My love is never too much, never too much, never too much. That's that piece.
Woo! Love it.
So
Yes, loving it.
thank you. I appreciate the love. And welcome
Love it.
again for those of y'all who just joined in. I thank you for the comments in the chat as well. So just a little background information on that poem. Of course, you notice from the title, it was a self-love journey. So that was pretty much a letter to myself, me speaking to myself in the mirror, right? And during the first Yonitry book that we released, I was able to really open up and share about my sexual assault situation that happened to me, which really, really broke me, right? And really, really just took away my whole voice. And when you go through that type of thing and your yoni, you know, your womb, all of that is just, it feels like at the moment, in the moment that it is shattered and it is just terribly interrupted. And I felt like, you know, all these years of me being like a spoken word artist and expressing myself through my art, through poetry and being on stages and impacting so many people, I know when that happened, I no longer had that. I no longer had that voice to speak out, right? So creating Yonitry was kind of an outlet for me. And that was the first time I had ever shared that, you know, that story. And so this is kind of just reading over all of the women's, you know, work who are a part of this work, this project, this series. I realized that there's so many women who have gone through the same thing. And even the things that I have not talked about within the book, there's different ones of us who have poetry in this book that talks on those subjects. So it's like, we don't even have to talk about every aspect of our lives, but we can relate to one another in some kind of way. You know, we can be the voice for the voiceless, but we can also be the voice for each other, because there's just some things that some of us still are unable to share. But with our sister sharing it, it's kind of like, you know, a freedom for us. So I know that I've experienced that, and several others of us have experienced that as well. And we've gotten so much great feedback from readers, you know, saying the same things. So this piece right here is near and dear to me because it just kind of, it's a you know, just like a celebration to all of the healing work that I've been doing within myself over the past couple of years. So yeah, that's what it's highlighting. So when you all do receive the book and you're able to look back over it, things are going to click a little more. And it's good for you to, to know that backstory, because a lot of times with our works, especially with reading like poetry and creative writings like that, which is good. Even like looking at art, it's good to form your own opinions of what you think the artist might be saying, but you guys are having a chance tonight to actually get a chance to hear from the artist straight from our mouths. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Nisai, beautiful, beautiful Nisai, and go ahead and share whatever piece you would love to share. And yeah, we'll ask you some questions after that, because we definitely want to know, the inspiration behind the piece.
Sounds good. I am Nisai. This is my second co-authoring with the lovely Kitten. So I will be doing my piece Push and Pee. So enjoy. When you see me, you see her. When you see her, you see me. But when it's time to fix my sister's crown, it doesn't happen in the streets. Empowered women empower women. But have you ever met a woman who's in between blessings? She can empower you too. She has many titles and plays many roles. Life happens, and we're one decision away from stepping into someone else's soul. Their shoes, their clothes, the very essence of who they are may seem to change in a moment, but they are adjusting to the task that has been brought forward. Listen, beautiful, when your tuition is due, when the kids aren't listening, when love doesn't live in the home anymore, when you're passed over for that promotion, when you're feeling unpretty, and it seems like the world is crumbling around you. Remember all of the times you've cried out in the middle of the night and woke up with your crown still intact, with the strength of an army full of warriors. You were created for this moment. The soul of a woman illuminates through you. And ladies, don't look down on your sister when hard times fall. She's carrying so much weight, and she didn't eat it all. It was the stress and lack of sleep, being superwoman, hiding the fact that her cape is falling apart at the seams. She's a mother. She's a daughter, a wife, and a friend. No one knows what goes on behind closed doors, but she's smiling through the pain, and she reaches out to lend a helping hand. Women are resilient, so resilient, standing tall in their stilettos or flat-footed on the pavement. Her soul caresses each heart and makes its acquaintance. Some look at her and wonder how she continues on, how she pushes through. She's pushing P. Nah, it's not what you think, or whatever crazy terminologies the Urban Dictionary pushes you to believe. Through it all, she's pushing passion. She's pushing purpose. She's persevering. She's pushing past potential. She's applying pressure. She's providing. She's powerful. She's praying. She's empowering people through her testimony and living her truth in peace. My souls are planted. I stand tall in my faith, but it hasn't always been that way. With bowed head and lowered eyes, someone lifted my chin and said, "It's gonna be all right." I am my sister's keeper. And if my crown happens to tilt because I felt the weight of the world, I put my shoulders back, wipe my tears, write my vision, and take my first step. My first step towards my purpose, powered by my passion, with lessons learned and knowledge gained. Crowns up, because I'm pushing P, and the world shall know my name. How you persevere under pressure, how you rise to the occasion, whether you're starting over or pushing through. Those quiet moments when you're all alone, not knowing what to do, there's magic in those moments. Your gift will make room for you. Just be still. And sometimes it's before you even realize that the gift is you. Thank you.
Yes, sis. That was so good.
Loving it.
Thank you.
Yes, and yeah, when y'all want to give applause and show the poet, just love, like that's fine too. After they do their piece, it's totally fine. I love how everybody's putting stuff in the comments too. So go back in the comments and see all the amazing things people are saying about your poem. But Nisai, I just love how you spun the whole push and P thing. And I have to admit, I never even knew what push and P meant. Like I heard the song, but I didn't know what that meant. So
I had to Google Urban Dictionary.
so if you know what that means, explain that to all of us. But also I love like all of the P's that you use. Like, how did you find so many powerful P words? That was so good. But also, what inspired you? Like, what made you want to write this poem?
I'll kind of answer that all together. I actually was invited to do a women's empowerment, one of my first women's empowerment events. And she told me what the theme was and, self-care, how women, persevere and push through. And I'm like, persevere, push through, peace. Okay. And the song was kind of out there. And I'm like, I don't even know what pushing, I'm like you, I don't know what pushing P means, but it's playing everywhere. So Google Urban Dictionary was my friend and told me everything I needed to know and didn't need to know at the same time. And so we just, went through and I looked through some other poems I had that were kind of empowerment type poems. It's like, okay, let me think about some things that have helped me. When I'm thinking about, women and how they excel, what are they doing? They're praying, they're empowering others. They are going through it at home, but they're helping other people. So that's kind of how it all came about, and that it is what it is. It came together.
I love it. What was the response that you got when you shared that poem?
Awesome. It was awesome. And to be in a room full of women who have dealt with domestic violence, have dealt with being almost killed, accidentally shot. And it was just like, wow. And for them to have their own separate meanings that they got from it, because they have literally pushed through all types of obstacles and they're still here.
Yeah.
They have been crying in the middle of the night. So it was a very good feedback that I got, but you never know how, kind of like now, you never know what your words will do for someone else,
Right.
which I'm so glad I was able to be a part of Yonitry 1 and 2, because from hearing people's views and what they went through, it definitely helped me to see, okay, this is not just about me.
That's powerful too. And I think, knowing that, that's gonna get you, so far, because you have the heart to want to impact others, to want to in whatever way you can, even if it's just by, sometimes you got to start with living your life
Absolutely.
the best that you can live it, so that other people can be inspired by that, and know that it's possible for them if you can do it. So that's
very, very true.
I love all of your poetry, Nisai. And if we get through everybody and we can come back around, I want you to share another one because y'all.
If not, we're gonna do a Saturday. Either way, I'll be back Saturday.
Not play. For those of y'all who are here, you want to come back Saturday, we'll have some of the same contributors, but other contributors as well that will be sharing. So it'll be like a mixture of things, a mixture of fun. Totally diverse set of women. So next we have the beautiful, looking like a top model tonight, Amy Dunlap.
Hi. My poem is I Woke Up. and I'll explain all about it when I'm done. So here you go. I woke up one day and found me, but I didn't like what I had seen. All this confusion lying deep inside of me. I knew I had to stop running. I had this desire to live, but didn't know where to start. I compromised so much. The little left of me, I forgot. But the more I discovered me, the more we grew apart. Knowledge made me angry, but it also set me free. It made me so aware of what I was doing to me. Still stuck in a loop, so I sabotaged again. Was too afraid to go through this mental battle that you always seem to win. So I self so I self-medicated on false hope and everyone's needs. Now once again, I'm back to neglecting me. It's their fault. I hate this, but I really hate me. Because if I loved me, I wouldn't treat me so poorly. This is why it's always my fault. I take full responsibility for me, for the me that settled and went with the flow, for the me that neglected and never really got to know. But the little I've seen of her, she's so legit. A true clear-minded fighter, I must admit. When she's connected to her source, there's no letting go. She's a true queen, confident. She's in control. She knows what she won't do. That's non-negotiable. And if you try to press her, you got to go. This person I seen is so dope. I had to let her in. So I decided to make time for her and pay attention to her needs. Placed her in the right environment so she could grow in love and real security. No longer could I settle for false hope, repeating a cycle that I know will no longer work. I quieted my mind and left the old me behind. I woke up one day and found me, but this time I loved everything about me because the real me was finally set free. And so, first time reading a poem out loud, you guys. So thank you.
Yes,
Awesome.
Thank you.
Good job, Goddess. I was
Yeah.
Shoot.
No, but I really love that piece because I think so many of us can relate to that. I feel like you went through like your own little journey where you were going back and forth, and like I kind of want to know, some of the backstory to that one because I feel like that piece is so relatable, So like what was it for you? Like what were you going through?
Well, I okay. So I've been retired for the last couple of years, and being at home, I had to sit with me. And it's easy to say, oh, well, it's because of the kids, it's because of the family, but it's really a pattern. And I saw the pattern and I was like, wow, like it's safer saying it's everyone else, but it's really you. So just fighting for that person that is not hiding behind the family, fighting for the person who's like, well, I have my own needs and that's okay.
Yeah.
So but also seeing like you're sabotaging on purpose. You're like, you're fighting with yourself to be free. You're fighting with yourself to have a voice. You're fighting with yourself to have a purpose behind all these other titles that, come along with being a mother, wife, whatever career you might have. It's still that person behind all of this. And it's like a mental battle. Like, okay, who's going to win? Are you going to keep doing for everyone else, or are you going to be that true person? And then like really when I'm praying and when I'm connected with God, that's when I really see her and hear her and feel her. And it's like, wow, like I have the strength to be there for everyone else, but I have more strength, when I'm sitting with her, she's telling me, okay, you need this, Timmy, you need this silence, you need this time to yourself, you need to work on your being more feminine, like, so just that battle of really, sitting with myself and saying it's okay to be with me.
Yeah.
So
no, this is good.
thank you.
Have you already like connected with her, that part of you? Or was it like something that just came about for you,
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I said, have you always been connected with that side of you, who you refer to as her? Or like
No.
that just came about?
I kind of ran away from her because she is a mess, she's a very strong person. And like a lot of my no's, I kind of like are making it to yeses. Like tonight, I didn't have it marked off I was supposed to speak tonight, but she was like, no, you're gonna speak tonight. So,
Wow.
she's a bold version of me. And just learning how to get out of that shell and just being comfortable with that. Like, okay, no, you are a speaker, because we still deal with childhood trauma and everything. And, you're that shy person, that shy version, it's been shut down because, as a kid, you're told not to really speak. So your voice is kind of like still hidden. So as an adult, you're kind of like, should I speak? Should I not speak? So it's like, just being more in tune with myself and enjoying it. And even with your poem and the size poem, I'm ready to cry because I'm like, this is beautiful. Just us having this and being able to share, and it's sacred, and it's, it feels right. And I love that, I'm blessed to be a part of this.
Ooh, amen. You said it, girl. And this is your first time ever sharing poetry, right?
Yes, it is.
So
Yes.
good job. You showed
Thank
up.
you.
Showed up. So
Thanks.
I'm proud of you for that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Next, we have another beautiful, beautiful lady, one of my close friends and mentors, amazing woman doing beautiful things with women all over, Tashante McCoy. You gotta unmute.
I was like, look at my braids. They was like, we in here. As soon as I turned on the camera, they was like, hey. What's up, y'all? Kitten, you know I love you so dearly. So dearly. He's one of my favorite people on God's green earth. I'm just excited to be here. I'm fasting, and consecrating, so I'm hidden. I haven't been on social media, and haven't really been outside much. And I just been taking care of myself because I have a lot to do starting next month. And so it's so only certain people can get me to come out. And so you are definitely one of those people. So what you want me to do?
Do what's on your heart. Do what's on your heart.
It's very interesting because I did not consider myself a poet. But when Kitten was in Stockton, they used to have an event that I would come to. First, I just come because I just think that what they were doing was really dope. And I was just drawn to her and her energy and her spirit. And so then she asked me to be a judge for this like talent show, type thing that they had. And then I don't know, just being in that environment, which it's important to get in the rooms. Like my good friend CJ, that's a thing that he always says, get in the rooms, right? And so if you hang around the people that's spitting, like the sis said earlier, then naturally it's gonna rub off on you because iron sharpens iron. And so I can't really remember how, but I just know I ended up with the mic and doing a poem or something that was placed on my heart. And so I think I'm gonna do that one. I believe I'm gonna be here on Saturday too. So I'm gonna start with Treat Yourself. I know that she liked that one. So this is one of the two poems that I've written or that are inside of this book. So here we go. So I am not a poet, but I do have something to say. I'd like to make the recommendation that you treat yourself today. Treat yourself. Treat yourself to forgiveness and let that stuff go free. That part of your heart that won't allow your mind to flow so you can grow to whoever you need to be. Treat yourself. Treat yourself to love, not that kind of Keisha Cole saying but that kind of agape love from up above, the kind of long-suffering love that keeps no records of wrong. Treat yourself. Treat yourself to knowledge, which ultimately is free. It's actually a key to the real blessings God has waiting for you and for me. Treat yourself.
I was trying to unmute so I could say treat yourself with you.
Hi, beautiful queen.
Love it. You hear my auntie Candace saying hi to you.
I said, yeah.
You know I'm always happy to see her, my boo.
Likewise, likewise. I love all of y'all. I love all of y'all.
Yes, good to see everyone. Yes, yes. Hi, Tim, my niece. Hi, Andrea, my niece.
We treat yourself.
All the beautiful queens.
Yeah,
treat yourself.
Right.
What made you want to write that poem?
You not
You need to write that poem.
You did. Nah,
no, but there's more to it.
You know, it's even the other one that I have in there that's entitled Sometimes I Can't Be There. Mm-hmm. It's because I think as women of color, we always looking out for somebody else. We always taking care of somebody else. Like we literally will go the extra mile for everybody else, right? Mm-hmm. And then we just leave ourselves crumbs and leftovers sometimes. And so I was just sitting there thinking about, I was in the process of coming out of a relationship that was very toxic and very draining and emotionally. I was just vibing, like, you know what, you need to treat yourself, like you need to let stuff go. And I had read this book around that time. It was called The Lies That Women Believe and the Truth That Sets Them Free. And wow. It's by Nancy Lee DeMoss. I love that book. I always reference that book. And in that book, it said one of the biggest lies that we've ever been told is that we can't control our emotions, right? And that love is like something that's like we just fall out of a tree in and out, like we don't have no control, and that's not true. And so that's why I put that line in there about not that kind of love that Keisha Cole or people period sing about, but that agape love, that kind of love that God speaks of, is a love that we should put out and the love that we should desire for ourselves, because that don't change. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, we just been tricked. We've been tricked to think that love and relationships and, you know, is supposed to be a struggle, and it's not. And so I was like, just in the beginning of that, just like, I'm finna treat myself to the very best things in life, because I deserve that. And so, and also just people around me, like, setting that standard for the people that's around me too, that hey, if you want to be around me, this is how we down over here, we treating ourselves. And as long as we doing that, then that everybody is going to benefit from that type of behavior. If you really just think about it, like if we really, like if the world literally stopped, like as Beyonce would say, because y'all know I love Beyonce, like stop. Her, she gonna drop them tour tickets tomorrow. So I'm just like,
oh, you ready? You ready?
You know, I am. I told them I ain't doing nothing. We're only going to see Beyonce this year. But anyway, but anyways, yeah, like imagine if we all like stopped, took inventory of ourselves and our lives and added value there and treated ourselves to all of the things that God says that we deserve. The place. And as Black women and as women, we will be much more stronger and much more valuable, like, you know what I mean? Because we set the value. That's something that I learned coming out of that season, because that was a tough season, you know what I mean? And a lot of us here are leaders in the community. Well, everybody's a leader because we all influence somebody. And when it's you that people always look to, and when you going through, or well, growing through, because I ain't going through nothing, I'm growing through everything I
Come
experience.
on.
I'm not going through nothing. They be like, I'm going through this. Well, yeah, no, I'm growing through. But when we're growing through, like if people show us grace and understand that and respect that process, because if we had time and we open up the line, everybody could tell you something that they've grown through or that they're growing through right now. We just gotta treat ourselves with grace so that could dictate the kind of grace that we receive back. So that's where that came from, but it was inspired by being around y'all, you know what I'm saying? And I just was like, I think
I love it.
that.
So you kind of just touched on it a little bit, but that's what I was trying to figure out, like, because I know you do so much, like, y'all, she has a nonprofit organization. Is she paused or am I paused? Somebody come off mute and oh, okay, are we good now? Okay, so
It's good.
y'all, if you're not familiar with Ashante, she has a nonprofit organization called the OWL Movement. She has several movements going on. She has the Junior Owls where she mentors young girls. The OWL Movement is a group of women who just empower like all of the women in our city, and just they do so much. They have this movement every year called the I Am, where they go a month full of affirmations, and it's not just in the city, but there's people all around the world like doing this with them. She also helps people who have, survived through crimes, and she works with the justice system. Like she does so much for like, so many people. So like that was kind of my question, like within the community, with all that you're doing and like your children, your family, like everything that you're doing, how do you find that space to be like, I'm gonna treat myself? Like where do you find that balance? Because you got a lot of stuff going on.
Well, first of all, I gotta shout out Renee. I see her on here. Hey, sis. She's one of our sisters. That's Simone too. Hey, Simone. First of all, you just have to do it like Nike. And honestly, I had to shout out Renee. As a representation of one of our sisters and just our sisterhood, because I can't do that. I couldn't do that if I didn't have the right environment. You know what I mean? We literally, something that's new, that's kind of like, it's coming up. We just had our first public women's retreat this weekend, where we had us, which was 6 of us, and then we had 10 women. And it was off the chain. Like I've been around in a lot of spaces in a lot of places where women are involved, and it could be weird or catty, or it could be like, oh my God, it was never a moment like that. But it has to do with the environment that we've created amongst ourselves is what seeps out into the community. So it's like a safe space of accountability, a whole lot of prayer. Like we got a prayer line too. When we've been in the prayer line is almost 4 years old, and we be on that prayer line 3 times a day. Like and most of us pray on that line ourselves. And so it's just the way that it's like the retreat is called the Exodus, right? The blueprint for healing. And you know what Exodus means. It means going from one, place to another. And so when we were there, and how that was birthed was realizing that you got to have a plan for your life. Like when I get off of here, because tomorrow is February 1st, and I'm like, I got 21 days because Anisha making us get on the scale. So that fitness part, I can't play around with it no more. But I was like, I'm going to write a plan for the next 21 days so that I can make sure that goal that I need to hit, I'm going to hit it. So that's how you do it. It's on my calendar, like strong mind, strong body, my workout time. It's on my Google calendar. It comes up. Like there's alarms that go off. They make fun of me because when they hear my 9 o'clock alarm, and they could tell you what it means. At 9, if we together at 9 p.m. and my alarm go off, it means it's time to wash my face.
You got an alarm for everything.
It's time to wash my face. My boo, my kids, everybody knows that. Now, do I always get up and do it? I used to be like a stickler about it. But she laughing in the chat. But the next 21 days, I was like, I gotta do it. And just quiet time. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people are stuck in TV and like TV shows and social media. You know what I mean? And so that's what they mimic their life. Like you are what you eat, you are what you watch. Like all of that stuff affects you. And so I literally don't watch TV. Like the stuff I do watch is old, like Moesha 227.
No.
I like them. I like them people. These new, like 50 Cent and them messed the TV up. But it's like they got just a bunch of.
You sit in Molly Scott and then,
I can't just sit there and watch that stuff or housewives because then I'm gonna think I'm supposed to look like them, and it's just having a plan. Like it's just like this is what I'm gonna do. Am I perfect at it? No, but if you have a plan, it's like a GPS system. If when you're in your car and that GPS is telling you what to do, unless you my sister Kia, because she literally would do the opposite. I don't understand. I think it's control issues. Even if you go the wrong way, it's going to tell you which way to go to get back on track. And that's how I feel about a plan in your life. Like you could get off track, but if you got a plan, you can always get there. And the plan should be that you make yourself your first love. And then that's going to dictate everything else that comes behind it.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that with us. Y'all show some love to Shashante. She actually wrote the foreword to Yonitry 1. So I really appreciate her for that. She's the queen of women's empowerment, y'all. But without further ado, want to introduce, let me see if she's still here because I haven't been seeing her. Okay, my little sister, the beautiful, beautiful Patricia Evelyn. She really, really surprised me on this one, y'all. When she shared her poem, I was just like blown away because I don't know, it just, the subject matter that she wrote about and the way that she put her words together, it was just so good. So I'm really excited for this one. Patricia, you there?
Oh my goodness.
So I know you couldn't come on camera right now, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I wanted to know if I can read on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Like I was just here for support. I'm sorry,
See,
y'all.
y'all gotta come back on Saturday now to hear her. See, that's gonna make them come back on Saturday, girl.
Yes, come back Saturday, y'all. Sorry, babies. But y'all done a great job. I've been enjoying the show. I really love everybody. I can't remember everybody's names, but you guys are so inspirational and I'm so happy to be here. So
Awesome. All right, so Laura, you're up. My good friend Laura, she's amazing, amazing woman from Stockton, doing her thing on the poetry scene. I know that Laura, I don't think she can come on camera right now, but she was having like trouble with her phone, but we'll see. Laura, you there?
For some reason, I don't know why the camera is not letting me come on. I don't know why. That sucks.
It's all good. And y'all, she spelled her name with a 7 and aura. 7 aura. It's so dope, y'all. It's some spiritual stuff going on there, but I love it. Come on, Laura, share your piece with us. We want to hear it.
Okay. This piece I wrote in the middle of it all, like I had a lot on my plate and then I got more on my plate and somehow I got this together and wrote this little piece for Yonitry. I was so happy to be a part of it again. Okay, it's called Do Me. Forgive me if I seem a bit rude, like I'm particularly not in the right mood. I don't mean to come unglued. I love you, but I love me too. What I've been giving to everybody else, I've been learning to keep some for myself. Take these dusty dreams off the shelf, invest in them, make my goals my friends so there's no regrets in the end. Maybe I should get me a couple of them Indian dream catchers to help stop these body snatchers and dream killers in their tracks. I cannot get too busy like the beaver doing you, and you instead of what I need and really want to do. I want to be more independent, break free from this codependence. Surely I'm one who likes to help out, but at the depletion of my wealth, which is really my health, do you understand what I'm talking about? So I don't have to preach, just please stop being such a life-sucking leech. Got me thinking all night how to get this thing right called self-assertion. Get rid of feeling all of this exertion. I'm not sorry, but no need to worry. I'll be back, Jack. But for now, don't have a cow. I'm in need to feed my soul with the life I live, or else, like Shel Silverstein's giving tree, there will be nothing else left to give. Let's grow. It's time for me to shine and do me, baby. I've overcome stuff hard to believe in order for me to achieve. Get this thing WRITE right. It's time for me to leave.
Hey.
Girl, you spit that. Laura, you spit that.
Thank
I
I
you.
loved it.
I love it. We love it. I see
Yeah.
everybody giving their snaps and everything. That was so good, Laura. Like, I really love that poem. Because you can just see like you were kind of like putting your own dreams on the back burner, you know,
Yeah,
until you kind of like got to a point where you were like, no, I need to put me first now. So can you
yeah.
kind of like walk us through like your whole mindset of like what was going on and what like, you know, why you felt it was important for you to write that piece?
Well, because I already thought that I had a lot on my plate, and I'm just so loving this, like being a part of all of you guys, these strong women. I mean, it's just really beautiful. It's like a dream come true to me. So I want to do this. This is what I want to do. And everybody else wants me to do this and they want me to do that. And they sucked in the life out of me. And just when I thought I had too much on my plate, I got more. And it's like God is saying, you know, you can still put you first in the midst of everything. Like you can handle everything, but, you know, like you could still, like in the process, you could still find time to do you, you know, if you have to run away, walk away or whatever, but you know, like, yeah, I was just really living that.
Girl, I feel it, girl. I feel it because I know we've all probably personally, you know, had those moments where we put ourselves in the background and what we really wanted to do. And, you know, like was worried about everybody except us, you know? So
Mhm.
I'm glad you realized that and you are, you know, taking time for yourself and you are doing things that you truly want to do that truly make your heart sing, that make you smile, make you happy, bring you joy, you know? And I think that's what it's all about. Like, that's amazing. You're
Thank
the
you.
bomb, Laura.
Thank you. I love being a part of this. Is like, I just love it. It's really a dream come true.
I love it. So this is Laura's second time being a part of Yonitry, and she also has her own memoir in the works too. So I'm super excited for Laura this year doing her thing. All right, so next we have a wonderful, wonderful goddess. She's actually doing some amazing things here in the Atlanta community. She's mentoring children, and I want to definitely, you know, talk to her a little more about that. But without further ado, I'm going to introduce Kayla Carr. If you can come on camera. Oh, there you go.
Hello.
Spotlight, yeah.
Give me 1 second.
You're supposed to be ready, Kayla.
I know, I got you. I got you. Don't worry. Hey, everybody. How we doing tonight? It's so good to be a part of this project. I really want to thank you for just giving me an opportunity to share some of my heart with the world. I feel like my poetry is something that not a lot of people even really know that I do. So it was very, very special to be in this project with you and with all you other lovely ladies. We're sharing a poem from that like you chose for the book, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. So I'm gonna share a poem called The Photographer. When I first met you, I saw most things through a pixelated sepia-colored filter. I struggled to reduce the noise that came with living, always looking through a blurry, cracked lens, until the sun touched the moon and I met you in the golden hour. Freezing the frame, you illuminated every shadow. When you speak, things click. Your words are saturated, they increase brightness and create contrast in all the right places. You are a master of the art of observation, capturing the most ordinary things and making them appear extraordinary. You look for the beauty in the composition of every moment and have taught me how to develop from the negatives. You remind me that when life gets blurry, it's as simple as adjusting my focus. You see beyond my best angles, yet choose to take the shot anyways.
Beautiful.
I love
Thank you.
it. So
Thank you.
Kayla, I really love how you use like the analogies that you use in your pieces and just like,
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah, it's just incredible the way that you write your poetry. Like, and I was just like, it feels like so spiritual, yet artistic, you know? And I knew
Yeah.
that it was something that we needed in Yonitry. So can you kind of talk to us about that piece and like the story behind it? Like there was so many words that I'm sure everybody could recognize within like photography and you know how you related it to different things. So can you kind of like give us some background story on that? Like
Yeah.
that was really deep, you know?
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, most definitely. So I think a lot of what I do, I've always been somebody that is interested in multiple mediums of art. So like even from a child, you know, I didn't just do drawing or just painting. Like I also did like music. And as I got older, you know, I kind of got into taking photographs and film. And this piece was kind of like an ode to somebody that I used to be close to. And they were a photographer. And so like something that I really learned from them was how to see the world. And I feel like that was a major part in kind of a shift in my perspective because a big part of my mental health journey and just like my recovery and stuff has been kind of seeing things a different way. And so I feel like that's something that only photographers know how to do well, is kind of like capture a moment or capture a certain perspective and like in seeing things develop from negatives. I feel like there's a lot of power in that. And just even in the angles in which we see things, it's kind of like you can choose to see something in a bad way, you know, like it's, if you look at like the cards that people are dealt, you can have two people with the exact same circumstance and one person takes it and they destroy their life and then the other person takes it and they use it as, you know, motivation. So I feel like in my relationship with that person, it kind of just taught me how to observe things and how to, you know, look at ordinary things and kind of make them extraordinary. So this was kind of almost like a thank you piece to them for kind of showing me how to look at the world a different way. And I feel like when we're stuck in kind of one perspective for so long, it kind of takes somebody challenging us or somebody like loving us enough to be like, hey, you're like looking very short-sighted, or like you're stuck in this one perspective, and like even though you may not want to hear it, they still challenge you anyway. So there was a lot of spiritual things to this piece because my relationship with that person was very spiritual, and it just, I don't know, it just really, really, really shifted my perspective. And so I kind of wanted to honor like the photographer that they are, but then also just the way that I see things now, and just kind of the contrast in who I was and who I am now and who I'm trying to become. So that's really what that was about.
Come on. That's so beautiful. That is
Thank
so
you.
beautiful. So it was almost as if you needed like some kind of like paradigm shift or
Mhm.
I don't know, like a pattern interrupt or something to, kind of get you on the right track,
Very so.
So just going through, from where you were to like where you are now, what has been like the biggest, I guess, the biggest growth that you noticed within yourself?
That's a good question. I would have to say, no doubt, the biggest growth that I've had has been in like allowing myself to feel my feelings. I think that's something that like artists struggle with in two ways because it's like either things are so extreme that it's like you use every extreme emotion to just create this like beautiful chaos kind of, or I feel like with age comes like this maturity and being like, okay, I can feel my emotions, but they don't have to run me. So I think that's been the biggest thing. It's just like allowing myself to feel the range of my emotions, however they come, and to not try to like over catastrophize things or like minimize things or like invalidate myself or gaslight myself. And I would say also just like learning how to communicate has really been a big thing. Not just communicating with words, but just like in every facet of my being, whether it be like through prayer, whether it be through painting, whether it be through writing, through song. So just allowing myself to be vulnerable enough to really like communicate what's on my heart at the time.
I love it. Well, thank
Yeah.
you, Kayla. Y'all, also, I want to let you know that Kayla is the designer of our book cover. She's the artist who created the beautiful woman on the image of our book cover and just the whole design.
Absolutely beautiful.
So we thank her for that. She's amazing. Like she really came through.
Woo!
Really came
Thank you.
through. And I just feel like it's just a beautiful representation of, what Yonitry is all about. So thank you, Kayla.
Yeah, thank you. Honored to be here.
Awesome. So let's see who's next. So we have a couple of more people. We have Simone Renee, we have Margarita. So without further ado, I'm gonna introduce Margarita, who really, really has some deep and heartfelt poetry in Yonitry. And y'all, be aware that we are just sharing a piece here, right? But each of us, some of us have like more than one piece in the book. Some of us have like 5 pieces in the book. So there's a wide range of material within the book on various different subjects. So you'll get to hear or read from the same poet on different areas as well. So this is just a little taste for y'all, and we really appreciate those of y'all who are here tonight, have shown up, and are here to listen and here to support the authors and the book. And yeah, we're just excited and happy that we are receiving love from you. We're receiving that love. So thank you for your patience, Margarita. Let's go, girl. What you gonna share?
Y'all doing? First of all, it is just so great to be here with y'all. It is, as everybody else is saying, wonderful to be here with y'all. This is a great union of very talented, very blessed women. So this is a great place to be. I thank you for having me. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and read what I submitted to the book. It's called A Sonnet in G. You didn't breathe. I didn't breathe. Only one of us was holding our breath. I didn't move. You didn't move. Only one of us enveloped in death. You didn't cry, but I cried the Pacific, praying for a different outcome. You were so cold. I was so cold. This was all over and done. You were in a box. I was in a box, devoured by my own pain. I left you there. I couldn't say that, and I'll never be the same. Your sister cried, but remained composed. For me, she tried to be strong. She mourned your absence, ached for your presence, the constant walking sad song. The melody is in minor, it stays on repeat, different with every measure, time in swift as seconds, something to always be treasured. It's the outcome, not the result. I anticipated for an end without hesitation, without second thought. I'd truly do it again. My purpose was always to live for you both, protect you no matter the cost. Once you were gone, it was all upside down, and I was simply lost. I mourned all the things we would never do, the conversations, things never said, 10 perfect fingers, 10 perfect toes that now only exist. No one could speak your name. It hurt to the core. Its syllables confined me in grief. Every anniversary, every milestone date, I get less and less relief. I finally learned how to cope. I think I'm doing well. Then the simplest of things can slightly occur, and I fall back in rotational hell. Our desires are often not what is best. We're blinded by what we can't see. As much as I ponder every scenario, if there was you, there might not be me. I've stopped all the blaming, stopped most of the crying, attempting to let it all heal. But if I stop crying, will I stop remembering? Will I know that it was truly real? The therapist couldn't help, the pastor couldn't console, the pills, too, because who'd want to go on day in and day out only to feel like this? 2 years had passed, and on my darkest day, your sister wrote me a letter acknowledging the fact that though I was sick, she needed me to get better. It wasn't so easy. It was a fight, one I could only win. To make a transformation, turning back time so that I could be me again. I'm stronger now, quite evolved now. Though the sting of it feels like a knife, I rose from the ashes, beautiful and free. Your death saved my life.
I know everybody got some snaps for you, girl. So that piece was one of the pieces that that was another one that I there was no doubt that that needed to be in this book, right? Because you're speaking for so many women who have experienced that same type of loss. And I literally cried reading your poem, and just seeing you here reading it is like, wow. So if you can kind of share with us, like, because how do you, as a mother, how do you move past, like how do you go on? How do you continue on? How do you kind of speak on that for us? Because I know there's some people too here that I'm sure have experienced that.
It's the hardest thing. Everyone has an opinion. Everybody tells you how to feel. They tell you, oh, by now you should be over it. Oh,
Mm,
you have another child. Um, you have to go on. But I really had to realize that it was my grief. I had to claim it and I had to deal with it on my own terms. It's nothing that's ever going to heal. It's always going to be a scar. It's always going to be there, but it's how I react to it and how I manage it. And I felt that it was important because, like you said, a lot of women have experienced this and they've been taught to bottle it up and just move on, go back to work, bury yourself in
wow.
whatever you can do. And that's not healthy. That's not how you function.
Yeah. So do you feel like even just writing about it, writing this piece and other pieces, that you may have written, like, is that a part of your healing process? Like, does that do anything for you?
It does. Just a little background. It'll be 13 years this year.
Mhm.
I celebrate his birthday. I can say his name. His name is Jabari. I know that by celebrating, it just it acknowledges that, you know, people in that realm, they say that stillborn children are lost children. They weren't lost, you didn't lose them, and they were stillborn. So you have to celebrate them because they're your child. Even if that was my only child, I'd still be a mother, even though he isn't here.
I totally agree. And just hearing you say stillborn children are stillborn, that was
Mhm.
like, you don't even think about, like, I wouldn't have even thought of that. But that's so true, And I personally can attest to how you feel about that, and knowing that you're still a mother. And I I actually have one of my sisters in my accountability group who can attest to that too. Yeah, Lexi, I see you in the chat. So um I just love the way you explained it. It's so beautiful. Um and thank you for sharing that, because no matter how much time goes by, you know, it's still a lot to be able to share that, to be able to get up here with us and have the confidence to share that part of you. So thank you so much. That was beautiful.
Thank
And
you.
please go
You're
back and read the
welcome.
chat too, because everybody is showing you love. Everybody is showing you love. All right, so now we are going to give the mic to my sister, the herbalist, Simone Renee.
Hi,
I know you got some
everybody.
good stuff for us
Hey,
tonight.
thank you so much, first of all, for this opportunity. Yet again, I had the pleasure of being a part of the first Yonitry experience, which was just pure genius. And it was a segue for all of the women to just be able to open up. I've opened up my heart space in ways I never could have imagined. And, you know, as a kid, I dreamed of writing poetry and writing books. And to finally say that, thank you for giving us all the opportunity to express ourselves, Andrea. So I love you so much for that. And this is a wonderful experience. I have been working so hard behind the scenes, so I haven't been able to be available like I wanted to. But oh, let me tell you, this process of healing and this book has been such an amazing help. So I just want to say thank you to everybody. And I'm so proud of everybody for being able to share themselves and be vulnerable in this space in a time where it's very difficult to express yourself. So well done to everybody.
What you gonna share with us? You gonna share something with us tonight, Simone?
I guess I could share from Miss Margarita. I guess that was the perfect way to get into one of the poems that I wrote in the book, which was Dear Mama. And just to be from a child's perspective and being a mom now and having to learn about things that maybe we thought our mom was a little bit hard on us about, and now being a mother and seeing those different types of emotional roller coasters and seeing that we are all here to break generational curses one by one. We all have our own goals, we all have our own purpose. And I think healing from our traumas from the past are very important, and being able to express them healthily is very important. We have to break those cycles. And I think Yonitry is also one of those many ways in which we were able to get some of that trauma, you know, and as a Reiki practitioner, you deal with trauma all the time and people having these deep embedded wounds that we have not been able to express and heal from because we continue to be triggered by it as opposed to facing it and, you know, fixing it. So I wrote Dear Mama because as a parent, I saw things from a different perspective. So I guess I'll just get into it. Dear Mama, I hope that at the most divine time, this letter finds you. I just wanted to share my feelings with you. I am grateful. I know there were times that it just wasn't right, and I forgive you. I hope you can forgive me too. There were times when I felt like I could have more, I could have had more emotions from you. I appreciate the way you show me how a strong woman could be through adversity. But when I was little, I felt like you could have spent a little more time holding me. But at the same time, I felt disconnected from you and I didn't want to force you. Honestly, my pride stopped me from forcing me too. And I never wanted to base my own perspectives off of my relationship with you. Today, I hope I still talk to my parents when they're like 92. And their grandkids and my grandkids can gather around and listen to both of you. I want y'all to live forever because I saw how losing your parents took so much life out of you. You stopped doing some of the things that you love to do, not to mention the marital issues that you endured. Like, what are some of the things mama taking to her grave? The ones you don't speak of because you're too afraid to. I wish more of your stories weren't ones that left you sad, angry, brokenhearted, and bruised. So, dear mama, I close this letter saying I am grateful. I appreciate you. Dear mama, I hope divine right timing is upon you when this finds you. Dear mama, thank you. I love you.
Wow.
Y'all keep coming with the bangers, man. You about to make me cry too. Like, I know so many people can relate to that, and so many people, like, just looking at the chat, like, they feeling it, they felt that, and just kind of like want to just rewind it back for you, like, as a child, like, how did you view your mom? Because me knowing your mom and like kind of like growing up with her and like being able to go to school and, experience her, like, I felt like she was like a mother to so many people.
Amazing.
And I think a lot of people, look at her like that, as that motherly figure, especially, those kids who didn't have a mother at home, or you know what I'm saying? Like, she was just always so nourishing and just, she had your back. You know what I'm saying? She made sure you was all right. But I know that sometimes, even with like, like a preacher's kid or something, they're not always gonna be like the perfect child, right? Like, that you would think. There's something, something going on in the background. So for you being her child, like, what was it back then that maybe you felt, that maybe you didn't understand, or that you understand now? Like, just kind of walk us through. I don't want to, shift the
Right.
questions to, but you know what I'm trying to ask.
Right. Well, I think it was a part of me learning, becoming an adult and being a mom, and me now doing the same things my mom did with my daughter. I had to share her. And sometimes that's difficult when we have a lack of understanding of what a person's individual purpose is in life, right?
Ooh.
And having to understand that that was her way of healing as well, by sharing herself with others, in which she could have had the same kind of trauma that she experienced in her own life or her own upbringing that she wanted to change, and she just happened to be the light and the reflection of that for other people. So I had to come to grips now as an adult and understand that that was a part of her purpose. You had to share her. So you can't take it personally and you can't be upset about that. You just have to be grateful that she represented the light just as you are represented in your own way. So it's understanding and having a different perspective of what it meant to have to really share that love and share that wealth. And sometimes you feel maybe left out, and sometimes you feel, you know, like I've always been the black sheep, of course, but sometimes it hits different. And then being a middle child is totally different. If you're middle child syndrome, that's a thing. So, just having to look around and see, that was her purpose. That was her design plan. That was God's given right for her to be a light in the community for other people. And it made me stronger, and it made me realize, as a mom who is now sharing my love with other kids and being somebody who works with the youth and having my daughter and all her friends coming now, and I'm the mom to their friends, I understand it hits different. And I have a totally different perspective.
Your mama.
I get it from my mama. You feel me? Yeah, that's right.
So have you had like any conversations as an adult with her, like just about this subject matter?
Absolutely. And we sit and talk, her and my sisters and I, we sit and talk, at our times when we having our heartfelt and heart to hearts, when we are now adults and able to express some of the things that, have been on our heart. And we talk about it all the time, everybody goes through things. Everybody has issues. There's not one family on this earth that hasn't had something go on and something happen.
Right.
But in order to heal and move forward, we can't hold resentment for the things that we felt were wrong to us. Regardless of if a person holds accountability or not, we still have to hold accountability for ourselves, be able to heal, forgive, and move forward. So that's what I learned, and that's what we talk about when we discuss those things.
That's amazing. Like that is so deep, and like that's healing within itself too, for you to be able to talk to your family about such important topics, like I love it. So Shantae in the comments talking about come with it. Decides
Tay,
like
that's my boo for real. Yeah. Like Tay knows she's seen a lot of the growth and a lot of the transitions. So to Shantae know for sure, it's healing is everything,
That's beautiful. So I want to make sure that I didn't miss anyone, because I see an iPhone here. I want to give a shout out to, let me see. Oh, I think he probably left us now, but there was a gentleman who stuck with us throughout for quite a while. So we appreciate him coming in, holding space with us. Who else? Shout out to where'd she go? I think there was someone named Diva here.
Yeah, Diva.
Is Diva still here?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so shout out to all the people who showed up for us. I see you, Catherine. Shout out to you. Shout out Cherie. That's my mom. We appreciate all of y'all coming through. So I guess I don't think I missed anybody with sharing the work, but we appreciate all of y'all holding space for us, keeping this a sacred space, a safe space for us to be able to share our work. If there's anybody like who's already shared, if it is on your heart to share another piece, then you have the floor now. But other than that, we'll be back doing the same thing at the same time.
Can I share a poem?
This Saturday. Can you share a poem? Are you in the book?
Oh, it have to be in the book?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
You so bad.
No, I've never had the privilege of being in any of your books.
I know you're not gonna share the poem you just sent me today. No, that is not our book. She is so bad. That's my mama, y'all. I would let you share it, but that's but I already know what poem it is. You hella bad. Oh, y'all know, yeah, for those of y'all laughing in the comments, y'all know my mom.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. It's on her heart. It's on her heart. It's on Mama's heart.
Look, now I don't know if we want to hear this poem or not. Look.
Look, now
Andrea wrote it.
everybody want to hear it now because I'm saying no.
I'm with you, Ann. I'm like, no, and I don't even know what it's about.
No, and I didn't write it. Andrea did.
Oh, okay.
So what happened was, different men would be trying to, holler knowing they had a woman and all this. So I told Ann to write me a nice little poem, and I told her what the situation was so that I can put it on Facebook to let these men know, to back off. So it says, attention, Stockton men. I'm not here to be your little friend. We all know it's small world out here, so let's not pretend. I know you just like you know me, and it's about time that you show me the proper respect that I deserve, because your disregard for my esteem has hit a nerve. If I grew up with you, went to school with you, or if you're friends with my ex, I don't need you trying to get with me or talking about having SCX. Don't message me and stay out of my DMs and inbox. And if you're married, engaged to be, or got a girlfriend, you can kick rocks. I'm not interested in dating anyone that knows me from the past. It's not okay for you to try to talk to me. It's pathetic. You even gotta ask. I got lots of love for you and I'm cool with you, but I don't like you like that. So don't be offended and take it to heart when I don't write back. So she wrote that for me for the Stockton men when that was in 2018. I thought it was a nice poem.
Yes.
That was a good one. I thought you wrote that, Mom.
No, she wrote it
I
for
liked
me.
it.
She had to
That
tell
was
these
a good
men.
way to end the night.
See?
You had to put these men in line.
I
Why
feel like
everybody
if you
love it
hold-
though? Look at everybody's comment.
No, listen, I feel like if you hold these men accountable, and if enough women say no to the men that are trying to cheat, then the men will stop. And then, and I've had a couple of men in my past that cheated on me, and I think that they're doing good in their relationship because I was able to be strong enough and say no. So if you lose a good woman, then maybe when you get the next one, you'll be better to her. That's how I feel.
Right. Yeah. That's true. All right. So did anybody else want to share anything? Just like what's some feedback? You got some feedback for us, Renee? We haven't heard from you tonight. Like as a person from the outside looking in, what are you thinking? Are you excited about the Yonitry book?
Yes, I am. I enjoyed it.
Thank you. Well, we appreciate that. Thank you for staying the whole time and just, holding space for us. I know you missed it, Catherine. What about you, Auntie Candace?
No, ma'am, I don't have anything. I just enjoyed all the poetry, listening to it. Thank you for having me. Thanks for the invite. Love all the talent.
Dinkle?
A lot of talent in the room and
Am I saying
inspiration.
it right? Dinkle?
Huh?
Yes, that's me. Yeah.
Okay. Did you have any feedback for us?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you holding space for us too. Well, we're gonna go ahead and
Dinkle look like she's comfortable over there.
She got another poem.
I didn't know the camera was on. I'm hiding.
Timmy said she got another poem.
Oh, you have another poem you want to share? Okay, so we'll let Timmy do her poem and then we'll close this thing out. All right, so I'm gonna highlight you. I don't see you. Oh, there you go. Okay.
Hi, PJ.
All right, so Timmy Dunlop is coming back to share another one for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so this poem is called Hair, Please Forgive Me. And I wrote this poem because for the longest, I didn't even know my natural hair texture. And I was surprised when I stopped perming my hair to see my natural hair texture, and I loved it. And yes, I have a wig on. I sure do. But just getting in touch with my natural hair and just seeing the process and cutting those dead ends that I just kept holding on to for, feeling like I was keeping on length and it was just dead. So just, that whole change of mindset of just taking better care of my body and starting with everything. And even my hair, is a part of the journey too. So just being able to look at that. So on this journey to self-love, I saw you. You stood out with your radiant, healthy strands. I've never seen you like this. You're pretty fly. Foolish of me to believe all those lies. I'm eager to see your potential. I might even dread you. Curls popping, my oh my. Silly of me for always putting you to the side. Too embarrassed to show your process because I was so full of pride. Didn't want to be known as that chicken head. So I decided to rock horsehair instead. I disconnected from you and misused your purpose, acting like you were never good enough for me. But it was me who wasn't deserving. And that's a lesson I'm still learning. Please forgive me for not loving you. I bleached you, I permed you, I cut you off, I burned you, I hurt you. And after every heartache, I abused you. Looking a hot mess. Now what's a girl to do? I guess I'll do what I do best and cover you. Long weaves down to my knees, tight ponytails, edges pulled, misusing that bond glue, keeping up with the trends. Man, you cute. You've been faithful all along, no matter how much I did you wrong. Still growing unhealthily, but still trying for me. Split ends and all, dry scalp underneath. Man, it's been a journey. You're a real fighter. Been with me through every fire on this emotional roller coaster. But this journey to self-love does not allow room for me to be unstable. I must treat you right. You're the glory that was given to me from my creator, who knows every strand on my head. There's no room for disconnect nor neglect. You're a constant reminder that we grow better together. My beautiful gray, I can't wait to discover you. Please forgive me for all the wrong that I've done to you.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
Love
Thank
it.
you. Thank
When you
you.
said we're better when we grow together,
Yes.
that was my line.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We all I think we all probably had a love-hate relationship with our hair at some point, trying to figure
Yes.
it out, doing
Mm-hmm.
all this kind of stuff to it, weaving it, pressing it, perming it, dyeing it, whatever, and just trying
Ride
to
that
Mhm.
lady
figure
to
out,
the side.
not that
Mhm.
that is wrong. It's just the relationship, how we view it, I think that,
Yes.
yeah. So I love
Thank
that
you.
poem. I love that poem. Thank you for sharing that. We were
You're
talking
welcome.
chat about you, like, oh, look at her breaking out of her shell tonight. Look at her going.
I know. I know. You're gonna be sick of me.
Amazing. I love it. Hey, I'm trying to OD on you, girl, because these poems that you're coming with are so good.
Thank you.
So for those of you who have still yet to get the Yonitry book, make sure that you order with the person who invited you here. For those of you who already ordered, I'm waiting for my shipment to come in. So I should either be shipping them to you on Saturday or the following Monday. And then for those of you who are here and you've already heard some of the poems, just based off of tonight, go ahead and go on Amazon and review the book this week. It should be up, I'm thinking, within the next 2 days, to where you'll be able to see the actual Yonitry 2 book on Amazon, and you'll be able to leave your review. So those reviews really help us too. They're going to bring more awareness to each and every one of us as authors as well. So if you're able to support in that way, that's going to make a major difference. And then we just appreciate y'all so much. Please continue to share the book. Any of these women, if you see them post anything on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever social media outlet, repost it. Feel free to take our flyers and take our book cover and post it on your page and just share it with people and tell them about, this amazing group of women, and like how we're all about healing and empowerment and forward movement, you know, and just creating a safe space for us to talk about the things that we are going through and growing. Who said growing through? Who was that said that? But yeah, so thank you everybody. Please continue to share, and we hope to see you back on Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There will be a host of other contributors, as well as some of these same women that we have heard tonight, sharing another new piece. And we look forward to seeing you, Patricia Eveline, sharing your poem, because I already gave you that great introduction, so I know that that's giving people something to look forward to. So yeah, good night, ladies. I hope you have a beautiful evening.
Good night. Love you guys.
Bye, y'all. This was amazing. Thanks, Renee.
Good night.
See
PJ
you
was trying
tonight.
Bye, PJ.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, PJ. Look at him waving to us.
He's being so big.
Bye, kitties.
Bye.
Hi,
Bye,
Sweet baby.
I'm a spotlight PJ till everybody leaves. Bye. Everybody wave bye to PJ.
Say bye.
Bye, PJ.
You're so
You're a
cute.
celebrity,
Hi,
PJ.
PJ. Sugar boo.
You excited?
Sugar, sugar.
All right. Good night. Take care.
All right, thank you. Bye, PJ. Have a good one. Your hair